Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of these talks we usually do in PancakeSwap. This is not a regular Pancake Talks where we invite projects to talk about what they are building, but kind of. Since today we are doing a live workshop hosted by us for us, but with a project with a really interesting project that is building on top of us, on top of the last feature that we have just launched called PancakeSwap Infinity, formerly known as PancakeSwap before, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm Fran, PancakeSwap's community manager, and for sure I will be your host today. And I want to talk about a little bit about how this guest, how this the team that is going to the stage, which is called Brevis, is helping us to build smarter and more dynamic pools on PancakeSwap Infinity. I'm sure you know a little bit about how Infinity works and how this new DEX upgrade plays a crucial role in our expansion. So I want to give a warm introduction to the Brevis team. Today with us, it's Michael. Hey, Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Chef Fran, for the invite. And I'm super excited to be here with the Pancake community and talk about how we kind of enable intelligent DEXs and DeFi.
Nice. Before we chime into the questions, which we are going to try to do it as simple as possible, Could you tell us a little bit about you and Brevis, of course, but first about how you ended up in this crypto hole?
Oh, well, it's actually pretty typical for me. So, I had a pretty deep technical background. I did my PhD in computer science, and my research focus was very much in distributed system and networking. So, crypto is right up my alley. And, have been in the crypto space for quite long, in the last 7 years. And,
Nice.
I think, since the beginning, my mission has been really bring crypto applications to mass adoption. And, we have been, focusing in various aspects of off-chain computing and how to make a blockchain run faster, interoperability to have like a better interoperability between different blockchains and rollups and so on and so forth. So, this is my history with, with the blockchain industry. Now, in terms of Brevis, so what Brevis does is it is a smart, verifiable computing platform. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, so basically, it's a platform where you can generate a proof or attestation to any kind of computation you run. Be that on-chain historical data related or verifiable AI inference and so on and so forth. But for today's discussion, I want to kind of focus on one aspect of Brevis, which is the capability to compute on historical on-chain data and make DeFi intelligent. So, today, what, I think that right now the situation is that if you use any DeFi application, you always have this feeling that really everything about your DeFi applications, but your DeFi application knows nothing about you, right? So it's like no matter how much you engage with a DeFi application, the DeFi applications still treat you the same. Well, if you think about it, your user experience in Web 2 is completely different, right? So like in Web 2, when you're using any kind of application that is consumer facing or user facing, it
Yeah,
seems
they
that
know
they know
everything about us.
everything, right?
Yeah,
Yes, they know you better than yourself.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
why is that, right? So like how can we make DeFi application as interesting and as engaging as intelligent of the Web2 applications? Well, this is something that I'm super excited to talk about, and this is like how Brevis is enabling a new generation of user experience, not only in DeFi but also in general, like any kind of decentralized applications.
Nice, nice. And I mean, as a regular user and a person who loves crypto, the first question that we can talk later about this is how this doesn't crash with decentralization. It's like you need to know a lot about your users, and it's okay. But when this crashes with the idea of decentralization, and how do you get that data? And I think that the CK proof, it's like a blowing mind thing to talk about. And how do you get that data in 3 seconds for giving the best user experience? So, okay, I think you already answered what problem Brevis is here to solve or aims to solve. And first, I think the first and most important questions to answer, it's what is a hook? I mean, I'm a normal user. It's the first time I hear about PancakeSwap Infinity or before or whatever you want to call it. But I find this thing called hook, and I think I don't know. I can think about other stuff, not even related to crypto, more related even to games. What is a hook?
Oh, well, so for Pancake, Swap Hook, it's a new modular type of design for DEXs. Now, what it does is that, instead of, so like in previous generation of DEXs, you swap from token A to token B, and that's it. Like in the process of swapping to token B, nothing happens. There's you cannot do anything, you cannot intercept the swap, you cannot do any kind of a modification about the swap workflow. But with hooks, put it simply, there are a lot of more functionality, but I'm kind of trying to simplify this. Is that you can actually differentiating the behavior between each and every hooks. Like basically when you're swapping from token A to token B, instead of just like do this as one step, Now you can have the option to say, okay, now I'm about to do the swap, but let's pause this and think about if there's anything else you want to add into this. Do you want to give a discount for the users in terms of trading fee? Do you want to, pause the trade to kind of a resequence similar trade together? Or do you want to kind of simply say, okay, wait a little bit, and I will remember you want to trade from token A to token B, and I will try to find you a different trader that can maybe offer better pricing that you specified. So things like limit orders, right? So this is these are the things that you can actually kind of do in theoretically do at least using hooks. And so it's really just a architecture in DEXs that enables you to plug in a lot more kind of a logic and the business intelligence into the entire DEX user experience. However, now if we think about it, like what are some of the kind of a user experience enhancement that is most straightforward for exchanges in general, DEXs or centralized exchanges? Well, if you look at every centralized exchange, they all share a same feature, which is trading volume based fee discount. Like if you traded a lot in the last month, let's say some big trader traded like $10 million, in the next month, the exchange wants to give you a discount. The reason for that is that they want you to kind of keep engaging with exchange and also generate better market structure, because some of the market makers, if they have lower fees, can arbitrage between exchange more efficiently. So the exchange's pricing for normal users will be actually better, and normal users would love that kind of a better pricing and better quotes. So this kind of a feature is in the end of the day a boost for the exchange's bottom line or revenue. But if you look at every single decentralized exchange until today with PancakeSwap, none of them has this feature. Well, why is that? Turns out that like today's smart contracts are not that smart. They can only look at very limited data on chain. So even if we're living in blockchain, the smart contracts are living in blockchain, the kind of data it can access right now, in a scalable and a feasible way, is only limited to one single block, the current execution block. All the historical data, like what this user did in the past, if the user held certain token in the past, none of that is actually accessible in your smart contract, in your solidly written smart contract today. So, what this means is that even if you want to calculate something like what is this user's historical trading volume, it is practically impossible. There are some nitty-gritties in the technical detail. Like if you're pretty deep in the technical space and understanding of blockchain, you may say, okay, you have a block header, you can actually in theory calculate anything using a block header because you can do Merkle proof on chain and everything. But turns out that even do Merkle proof on chain for a single transaction will be millions of gas that is simply infeasible to do any kind of a calculation about users' historical behavior on chain directly. So this is where Brevis is a natural kind of a combination with the hook architecture PancakeSwap pioneered here. That is we migrate this kind of a very expensive computation from on-chain world to an off-chain environment. And in this off-chain environment, you can basically calculate and attest to the fact that, okay, this user actually did that transaction and did that trade from USDT to USDC. And, we attest to every single transaction that happened in the past, and then kind of add that up as a transaction volume. And, we're not just doing this off-chain in a centralized server. We're also generating something called a ZK proof. This ZK proof is a magical thing that can be used to attest to the fact that this kind of attestation and computation are both correct. Now, the nature of the ZK proof is that no matter how complex the attestation or the computation are, the ZK proof itself, to verify that proof, you only just need a very, very tiny amount of computation resources. So now we essentially convert a very, very big computation that is impossible to do on chain. We move that to an off-chain environment that generates a very tiny, small, proof, and we can ship that proof back to the blockchain, or the smart contract can actually afford to do this very simple computation on the smart contract on chain directly. And then what you have is that you have this kind of smart contract that can consume the result of the computation as if the entire computation happened on chain. So what Brevis really enables here is that it enables you to tap into infinite amount of computation power for your smart contract, and specifically with our ZK coprocessor product, allows you to tap into all the historical data on chain that you can build differentiating user experiences and also kind of intelligent DAX experience based on the understanding of each and every user. That kind of bring us much closer to the Web2 user experience we have today.
Nice. I think I have two questions. One a little bit more technical than the other. First one, how do you get these features to be run in a blockchain like BNB chain? Because we are not talking about a zero knowledge EVM blockchain. We are talking about BNB chain. How this feature can work here, for example?
Oh well, what PNB chain underlying, have is the consensus process is definitely different, but the benefit of Brevis is that it's agnostic to the kind of consensus protocol that you run. So BNB chain in its core is still running a EVM based blockchain, and the block structure is identical with Ethereum-based blockchains, and generally like any kind of EVM-based blockchain, as long as there's no modifications, the same kind of a block structure. So we can actually very easily generate Merkle proofs of historical data, and support BNB chain in this case. I think the challenge that the potentially can be faced by any kind of a ZK co-processing solution is that BNB chain is fast. Like it processes a huge amount of transaction. And PancakeSwap is one of the biggest applications in the world, in the DeFi world, right? So like then it's a question of okay, now in theory you can use ZK proof to generate the proof of historical data and the historical data computation, but the process of computing the magic proof actually is pretty resource consuming. So how can we actually kind of make that feasible? Well, we have very intelligent algorithms, extremely efficient system, and including hardware optimization that all made it possible to essentially compute and this efficiently to keep up with the fast pace of BNB chain and PancakeSwap users.
Okay, perfect, great. And the other question around it, it's like there is, because I don't want to get myself too technical because it would be even hard for me to understand. But how do you get all the data so quick? Do you have a preloaded CK proof running every time? Because I don't know. If I want to know, I'm a user, I go with my wallet, try to get the discount fee hook, and I try to attest it because I don't know. 10 blocks before I made, I don't know, thousands of volume or millions of volume or whatever. How do you get that info so quick so I can get the fee discount in 10 seconds or in 1 minute? Do you preload a lot of data, historically data? How does it work? How do you get the data so quick?
Yeah. Well, happy to help about that. And just to kind of share some very concrete numbers, like PancakeSwap is really moving pretty fast now. Like right now we have generated 1.9 million ZK proofs related to PancakeSwap. So it's like this is what we see, right? So like PancakeSwap is definitely the most used, like one of the most used dApps in the world, right? So now how can we keep up with that? This is a great question, right? So like we keep up this with first of all, the entire system is extremely parallel. Like how this works is that you have you can imagine like for using Brevis, there are really three steps to kind of complete a Brevis proof. The first is that you kind of specify what kind of data as a developer you can specify what kind of data you want to test. And the second step is that okay, what you want to run computation on top of these data. And finally, you kind of put the proof back. The third step is the simple, right? So you generate proof, you put a proof back. And the difficult part is the first and second step. Now, for the first step, we actually run parallel proofs for all the data that you want to kind of prove for individual user. Right? So like if a user is made like a 10,000 trade, we don't do this one by one, but we actually launch a parallel and the horizontally scalable system to do the proof all at once, in parallel. And then, we in a second step, once we kind of approve the validity of these data, then we sum that up or we do any kind of a computation on top. We also have an extremely efficient SDK where you don't need to know anything like math or super difficult about the proof generation process or ZK circuits. You just write high-level language to specify your business logic, and then you can just build this proof automatically, and then kind of ship the proof back. But so how fast are we generating this? Like right now, for all the PancakeSwap users, we update their trading fee, and also cake holding for many of the pools every 1 hour, and it only takes about 10 minutes to generate like proof for all of them. So in terms of like swap, right? So like even though that we're using hooks, we're not generating proofs on the fly. So the proofs themselves are generated in a periodical fashion. So like every 1 hour, we update essentially the VIP status or trading fee status for user using ZK proof, and then we put the proof, on chain and store that in a hook contract. You can think of this hook contract as essentially a VIP lookup table, right? So like we basically record who is this guy, like what's the wallet address, what's the VIP discount based on the proof that is generated. And now in the actual swap time, instead of generating a proof on the fly, you are just simply looking up in the lookup table to say, okay, this guy has a discount, so I'm gonna change the discount for him using Pancake's hook architecture, right? So like that's how we can kind of enable such a large scale for PancakeSwaps, and they enable kind of a benefit for hundreds of users. Right now, like we just launched this for less than 2 weeks. We already have like 348 users that are using this, pretty actively, and they're all very big market makers that is providing kind of a sufficient amount of trading volume to build a better market architecture. And this is what we're seeing, that we're seeing better trading fee yield in Brevis Brevis hook enabled pools than vanilla pools. So in the end of the day, like you want higher revenue for your LPs, and this is what we're achieving.
Nice. Okay. Let's dive into what you have just said about the hooks that we have live and all these users who have. I mean, we expect to this number to grow up a lot, but I mean the nice stuff. It's like people maybe don't even realize they are using a hook at some point. That's the nice part. Maybe they realize they are getting a discount, but they don't know what's behind the scenes. So let's dive into the good stuff, the hooks that are live. Could you walk through super quick about the VIP trading volume discount, and also you can talk a little bit about the token holding? I mean, super quick.
Yeah, for sure. So, we have trading volume discount pools for some of the blue chip tokens, USDT, USDC, and Ethereum USDT. And we also want to empower, cake token holders to kind of have a better experience on the PancakeSwap DEX. So like we also have, 4 cake holding based discount pools like Cake USDT, BNB USDT, BTC BNB, and Cake BNB, are all available, on the DEX. So you might be already using them, a lot, but you just don't know it yet.
Nice. So, I think that's amazing, because I saw some users saying that maybe they are receiving discount and they don't know why. I mean, it's our job to let them know why they are receiving discounts, but it's amazing that they can use it even without noticing. It's like when you trade on a centralized exchange, but we don't know their blood type. I assume sex know even what did you use to feed your cat at this point. So that's really nice. So I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but as a normal user, as a person who came from the community, as a person who used Lexis a lot and crypto, I would really like to ask you if you could you can share your screen and let me know. I mean, walk through a super quick demo of how does it feel to use a Brevis hook on PancakeSwap Infinity, and I can shoot you some questions as a normal user who doesn't know how to use it. Would you like to do it?
Yeah, for sure. Happy to do that. And I'm gonna just share my screen with this Pancake application. So like this is PancakeSwap, right? So like you guys all love and know this application pretty well, and like okay, so what do you do is like for example you want to swap USDT to USDC, you can just like do this, okay? So okay, so where can you actually like
Yeah.
in a way
How I realize I'm using a hook.
yeah, like you don't even realize you're using a hook. You don't even realize you're using a kind of a ZK based system. But we're a bit of unsung hero here. But this is our intended like way of doing things, right? So like unsung hero and transparent user experience is what we're shooting for. But if you're curious enough, you can just like click into the raw and you will see, okay, so instead of a 0.01% fee, like a 10 bips, 1 bips fee, now you're getting a 5% discount on your trading swap. Well, why is that? Because like you're qualified for a discount via a Brevis hook enabled pool. So like how to qualify that? Well, it's pretty simple. So if you are a loyal user on PancakeSwap, if you swapped enough, for the supported pairs, and there will be like a different kind of a VIP fee tiering. And all the VIP fee tiering information is in our launch blog as well. So if you're interested in that, you just take a look at our launch blog. And if you qualify for that VIP tier, you will start to get a fee discount. So it might be good to once while check like this kind of a routing information once in a while, and look at whether you're actually becoming a loyal user. So this is like how we can eventually also help the some of the aggregators, DEX aggregators, to help them to find the best path for you, right? So because you want to know like PancakeSwap is offering you discount instead of but some other DEXs may not, and you want to have the best route to do that, right? So like especially in the future, if you want to swap between certain tokens, and you might want to consider that trading fee discount in PancakeSwap, comparing to other exchanges as well. So like it's very, very simple. It's like you just do the swap, and you can see this is like already enabled with a hook, and then you get the result. So like it's as simple as that. Underlying what happens is that when you do the swaps, every hour we generate the ZK proof of your last 30-day trading volume, and then we put that volume data back to the blockchain with a ZK proof in a completely trust-free way.
Oh, how does long it take to do these three steps? I mean, approximately. You take the data, you put it in the, off chain, and you put back as a CK proof. How does? Just curious.
Yeah, so like for all the users on PancakeSwap that is eligible for these discount, it takes about 10 minutes to generate proofs.
Wow.
So it's super fast, it's blazing fast. Like every hour we kind of just update your user experience, and this is just a start, right? So like it's the trading fee discount and the token holding, like cake holding based discount, are the two most simple things you can do with this kind of data intelligent hooks, right? There are so many things you can actually add on top, right? So for example, you can actually say, okay, I want to protect my LP. So if the volatility of the pool is high, or volatility of some other tokens like high, then I want to kind of drastically increase my pool's fee. You can definitely do that with Brevis. If you want to combine different kind of functionality together using Brevis, you can also do that. So if you are launching a new pool on Pancake V4 and you want these kind of functionality, where do you get them, right? So like, well, we actually build a sorry, excuse me.
No worry,
We
no
actually
worry.
build a developer portal for you to very easily configure these hooks. So like if you're interested in kind of launching hooks right now, this portal allows you to kind of create different hooked pools, including the pool creation process. You can complete that in one site, and you don't need to even know anything about the Brevis SDK. You just like, this is a point and click solution, works
Wow.
smoothly and everything. So
A hooks as a service.
yes, yeah. So like if you're interested in do that, you can do that, and feel free to reach out to us if you need some help on that front.
Oh, amazing. I mean, this, even working in crypto, I sometimes I got really afraid that the whole ecosystem goes faster that I can even realize. It's like, I don't know, some years ago, we were seeing the memes and that stuff. Then the memes, all becomes as a service. I mean, at the end of the day, even not knowing anything, now I can create a meme, I can create a hook, I can do a lot of stuff, not even knowing a lot of things. And that's freaking amazing and frightening. I don't know. Like now I can create an AI agent to do, I don't know, tons of stuff. And
That's
without
right.
not even knowing how to code 3 lines. I mean, just realizing what is okay and what is not. It's a lot. And I think this talk has been amazing. Thanks for being a really great teacher. I mean, you have really good skills to explain things super simple. And just before, I don't see any question related, so I have one more question that it's more like an abstract question, and I really always like to talk with the guests. Um, what's your long-term vision for what you are building at Brevis? I mean, how to customize pool, how to customize the whole DeFi experience. What's your vision as Michael, who is building his Brevis, about what's going on next? Because it's a lot.
Yes, definitely. So like we are extremely bullish on modular DeFi, and I think we're all seeing this kind of a general trend, and this is like started by Daxis, and but it's gonna spread to other different DeFi verticals quickly as well. Like we're seeing lending protocols become modular. They have kind of different lending kind of constructing and build on top. We're seeing yield aggregator become more intelligent to understand this yield better by essentially kind of having more complex strategy that you can run, and we're helping to build some of that as well. Like instead of just a very fixed strategy, you can run much more complicated algorithm to adjust your liquidity allocation using the kind of a computation power enabled both by off-chain verifiable computing. And for DeFi, I think like a kind of an inflection point. Like we have a lot of users that are kind of already kind of internal to DeFi, but an inflection point comes when two things happen. I think one is that if we can bring a lot of centralized exchange users to DeFi, and I think PancakeSwap is leading the way with partners like Binance Wallet, right? So Binance Wallet, they are a great segue to migrate some of the centralized exchange users to graduate to DeFi world in a fully kind of a secure and smooth fashion, and also like RWA assets, right? In the end of the day, we created we already created and surpassed the entire financial history, financial evolution, traditional financial evolution in the last 400 years in about 4 years in crypto. But then it comes to a point that we really need to touch into the real world and get connected with the real world and everything. So I think that that's the moment where a lot of non-crypto user will start to become more of a crypto native user, and that's at a time when you actually need even better user experience, right? So and we are super excited about like the capability of off-chain verifiable computing using ZK, using Brevis to enable that. And I just want to kind of mention one last thing is that ZK coprocessor is our current flagship product, but Brevis goes even beyond the ZK coprocessor. So what we enable is some we also have another product called the Pickle VM that is a generalized ZK VM that allows you to do verifiable computing on anything, absolutely anything. So like that's the kind of thing that can enable a lot more things, such as layer one blockchain scaling, because you can kind of approve blocks in real time, enable better interoperability for example, for OPBNB ecosystem, and kind of bring Web2 users into the blockchain world by combining with a zkTLS system. And even for verifiable AI, you mentioned AI as a big revolution here. How do you verify the AI inference result is actually coming from a high quality model? And how do you
Yeah.
verify if the data is collected in a correct way and the data is actually authenticated in decentralized data collection schemes? All of these things can be enabled by Brevis off-chain computing, verifiable computing capability, functionality. So, I'm bullish modular DeFi, and also super bullish on verifiable computing as a whole. And I think we both of these things are going to change how blockchain applications are experienced by the users, and finally reach my kind of a let us move closer to my dream of bring mass adoption to crypto applications.
Yeah, yeah, it's the wet dream from all of us, I think. And yeah, you're actually attacking one of the vectors from the trilemma. I mean, you are attacking the scalability and also taking care of this the decentralization at the same time. So it's amazing. I'm super bullish on this kind of the bills, because not even if I get completely, because I get the full picture, but when I go try to go really deep, I find some barriers from my knowledge that I assume everyone has when we talk about this modularity and these things. But the main idea, I mean, it's amazing. You are telling me that in 10 minutes you get my whole history again, no matter what I did like some minutes ago, and I haven't given you any chance, any piece of data besides my trading history, and that's it. And I'm really bullish on that. And I also think that at the end of the day, um, centralized, decentralized, there are all choices, and it's really good. Each user can have his own tools to decide where it want to go, but with no difference. I mean, we are bringing, I don't know, right now we talk about token holding discounts, trading volume, fee discounts. I mean, things that we all know that exists in CeFi, and maybe some people choose to go to a centralized exchange because of that. But now we are giving the tools to also do it on DeFi. And tomorrow there's going to be another feature, and tomorrow another one. And at the end of the day, we're going to be equal, and each person will be able to decide where they want to go with their funds. And that's amazing. I think that's it's mass adoption. If I can get my friends to not buy Bitcoin but do a swap as their first crypto interaction, I mean, because most of us, I don't know, I entered because of Bitcoin, because for sure, I don't know, some years ago, Bitcoin was the only thing that was on everyone's mouth. But maybe tomorrow it's doing a swap on PancakeSwap, or I don't know, trying a fee discount, because I don't know, with a CK proof you could prove that that person do something in the past and now is available to do something. I don't know. That's amazing. I mean.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that day is gonna come pretty soon.
Yeah, it's coming sooner than I realized. Sometimes working here for a long time, it's like the mass adoption feels so far away. It's like I still go out and people is not talking about crypto, but then I realize a small hint that wasn't here 5, 6, 7 years ago, because there are more capabilities and more things to do in crypto. And it's like we are moving so fast we don't even realize, because we are seeing new features all the time. But this doesn't happen in Web2. I mean, happened,
That's
but
right. That's right.
more slowly.
That's right. We have gone past like the 200-year traditional finance history in about 4 years.
It's like that meme that everyone is in a party and there is one guy in the corner saying they don't know something. It's like they don't know. Now we can't prove anything with CK proof in crypto. Like they don't know. It's a really nice meme that everyone is in a party and there's one guy just in the corner frightening because nobody knows what he knows. And it's like I feel the same with crypto. It's like nobody knows that we are building economical revolution from our computers here at home, 2025.
That's
So
right.
thanks, Michael. Thanks for coming here to explain this feature and how you are building in with the aim of mass adoption, not only for Dexes but for all the crypto ecosystem. I think you explained it really well, really easy to understand. I mean, it's being not an easy topic, you made it pretty simple, and I can realize from your enthusiasm that you love what you are doing. It feels. I mean, goes beyond your words, and that's really nice to hear in this ecosystem we live in, because we live and breathe and eat crypto, I think, all the time.
Yeah, I
Um,
love what you do, and really appreciate you hosting me, Chef Fran. Great chatting with you, and hope to kind of continue push forward and push the boundary of intelligent DeFi with PancakeSwap.
Nice. I want to invite you in some, I would say some months, maybe less, when we have more things to talk about together about what we are building with PancakeSwap and Brevis. And of course, I want to thank everyone out there. This space workshop, this gathering is going to be recorded, as you can see it whenever you want. So thanks everyone who tuned in today, and again, big thank not only for you, Michael, but for all the Brevis team for joining us and walking through this really exciting integration. We are always looking for ways to push DeFi forward. And I think Brevis hooks are a great example of how a smart infrastructure can create better and more customized experience for all the users, no matter if you're a trader, liquidity provider, or just exploring what is possible, as we did today. And of course, if you haven't tried PancakeSwap Infinity yet, now I think it's the perfect time. Look out for the pools with the Brevis hook, try them out, let us know what you think. And yeah, thank you, Michael. Thank you, and see you soon next time.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bye bye.